Welcome back, I'm the Watch King. On this video, we're going to be talking about, can you call your luxury watch part of your portfolio or is it an expense? Is there a gray in between? Where does it land? This is a very fun video for me. So I am not a financial advisor at all. Do not take this as financial advice to put money in for retirement. I'm not a professional financial advisor, but I do sell watches for a living. I am a vintage watch seller. That's what I do. So I deal with it every day and I see where prices have gone. Yes, I'm relatively young, but I can go back into the charts and into not like all the information out on the internet. It's everywhere to pricing, how they have been in the last 20, 30, 40 years, right? So the first thing I want to say is there is watches that are like cars, right? That's the longest thing. All dealers, watch dealers, they used to say watches and cars are the same. They're the first to drop in a bad economy and they're the last to rise in a good one, right? So it's the first thing and there's a lot to cars, right? You can have a car and never drive it and look at it all day in your garage, right? So those could have a chance to appreciate. But if you buy a brand new Ferrari and you drive 100,000 miles in it, right? You actually use it, that watch is nowhere near the value that you bought it. It's just not, right? Because it goes down. So when you wear a watch for 2 years or 3 years, right? You might get some scratches on it, but light polish looks pretty much brand new. Depends how you wear it, of course, whatever the case may be. So I don't consider it a car. A car is a completely different animal. You have a lot more expenses. Depends on the watch you have, right? A watch should be around the maximum if you take care of your watch should be around $1,200 to $1,500 from a factory service. It's a lot of money. They've been going up. That's why I'm on the higher end, because they have been when you go to an authorized dealer, it's a lot of money for a service now. So, and you think about every 10 years, it's going to cost you, let's say the maximum, right? $1,500, or you get a car, right? A luxury car, and an oil change on a Ferrari is like $1,500. It's insane. So a lot less expense, very little. I would put it in the expense of collectible art. Now, art's a different world. It's been around a lot longer. It is proven to go up in certain pieces, and it all depends on the artist you choose, the type of, the way it's painted, right? I'm not super into art, but if it's like certain canvases and periods and all that, right, of the artists themselves. So you have to choose in the watch world, right, who your manufacturer is, right? Instead of an artist you're choosing an actual manufacturer, Patek, Rolex, AP, etc. Now, do I think that this is an investment whatsoever? This is the stainless steel GMT? Absolutely not. Rolex makes 1 million watches a year. Patek makes 60,000. I think that's way too much, right? And that's their whole brand, 60,000. So where do I put watches and art? I put it in the vintage realm because that's where I deal with it, right? For instance, I'm going to give you an example. The 1630. This is a Rolex Datejust. I have pop up a picture in the store. Now this one is there's a whole story behind it. I made videos on it. But the 1630 itself, this watch was rumored to be between 1,000, 2,000 is max. Very few people think it's 2,000. They think it's around 1,000 or 1,500 pieces in the world, right? So this watch, there will be tons of different conditions. Some of them might have been beat up. Some of them might have been lost. Who knows? It happens all the time. So let's say on the high estimate, there's 1,000 in the world, right? We have 6 billion people. These watches, like this, with a big brand and very low production, that is art to me, right? You're choosing an artist, right? And Rolex is the artist, right? The manufacturer, and you're choosing a certain particular watch in a particular time period with very low production. Now, if you go out and buy Submariner or GMT, right? These watches, they've been making them for years now. This Jubilee, Pepsi, and there's tons of them on the market. I can pick up a phone, right? You know, if somebody requests it, and I can get 10, 20 GMTs in in less than a week, right? Somebody had 20 people and needs 20 GMTs, like that, I can get it. Somebody says, get me 20 1630s, I'd say impossible. Give me a year maybe, not even that. I can maybe source one if I'm lucky, like on call. Like, it's insane. Very low, not a lot of people have them. The people who have them don't want to sell them, like the art world, right? There's certain Picassos that people have, they don't sell, so the price goes up, and they keep going up until somebody sells it, or whatever the case may be. That is how the watch world will work. Now, I use this particular one as a reference because I have it installed. It's just one I have on my mind, but there are tons of examples. Texan, for instance, another one from Rolex in the same quartz era, but there's so many other ones from other brands. When you look in Patek, there's certain Nautiluses, the very first models, and Royal Oaks, A serial numbers. So there's so many watches. You have to choose the manufacturer that you think, it's basically speculating, right? A lot like stocks. I don't want to say it, but I did, right? So it's a lot like that too. So it's a lot of speculation and where people are going to buy. That's what it is. So I would love to know your comments. What do you think it should be added to a portfolio as an asset, or do you think it is a liability like a car? Now, cars are assets if you pay them. I understand that and all that, but a car is more unpredictable by far. Depends on the watch you have, right? Richard Milles, they say you need a service every 2 years or whatever, and there's so many stories with Richard Mille, I can't even start. But I'm talking about the main manufacturers, Rolex, Omega, all the top ones. They're very low maintenance compared to other luxury items. So let me know, add it to the portfolio or not. If you're interested in the one I've been talking about, the 1630, or any cool vintage watch, definitely check down below in the comments. There's a link to the watchkingofficial.com. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.